Hello. I have a number of train videos out, and I wanted to add to those with a three-part documentary that I'm calling A Train Odyssey. It's not really all that tremendous, but I'm having fun with the name. The first part deals with how I typically get to the Amtrak trains from my home, and the second part deals with the Amtrak Cardinal train, which runs from Chicago to points east. I took it as far as Washington, D.C., but it does go further. And the third part deals with a commuter train along the Eastern Corridor, also run by Amtrak. So, three different types of trains in a three-part video. This is part one, a ride on the Chicago Metra train, Milwaukee District North route, from the suburbs to Chicago Union Station, and a follow-up of the Chicago Union Station and the Metropolitan Lounge.
The next stop is Prairie Crossing, Libertyville.
Hill. All the Metra trains come in here, as well as some of the Amtrak trains. And they all end up here on the north side of the station. If you're coming from the north, there's a similar set on the south, which will presumably be departing from on Amtrak. But once you get to Union Station, you've got these concourses on the north and the south. To provide a little better idea how Union Station is laid out in Chicago, I've marked up and highly altered the official Metra map of the station, and it's oriented with north facing up. The station is bracketed on the north side by Adams Street and on the south side by Jackson Street, on the far west side by Clinton, and in the middle by Canal, and on the far right by the Chicago River. All the tracks coming from the north terminate at the north concourse, and all the tracks from the south terminate at the south concourse. In the middle of each concourse is a north to south hallway that connects between them, and also one can go to the far west of either concourse to a second hallway that passes under Canal Street, and that also connects between the concourses. Thirdly, there's an east and west hallway that goes from the two north and south hallways and connects all the way through under Canal Street over to the Great Hall. Keep in mind, all of this is below street level. I have used double heavy black lines to denote stairways, and the Great Hall being essentially almost 2 floors below street level. There are staircases going up from its western edge to Clinton Street, a staircase going north to Adams Street, another staircase going south to Jackson Street, and 2 grand staircases going from the Great Hall to the east up to Canal Street. These are the ones that are most famous from movies like The Untouchables. And then there's also a hallway and staircase that goes from the central lobby of the eastern part of the station and connects to Canal Street as shown here. There is an additional staircase that goes up in 2 stages from the north concourse and goes out up to street level at Canal Street right by the river. And then there's a similar staircase in 1 stage from the south concourse that goes up once again right along to the edge of the Chicago River. The Metropolitan Lounge is located under the southern of the two. The Metropolitan Lounge, which is the first class lounge for Amtrak, is located on 2 levels, street level and the level below, at the southeastern corner of the Great Hall, and it's reached from the hallway that connects through to the eastern part of the station, or it's reached by the southern of the 2 grand staircases coming down from Canal Street. There is an Amtrak ticketing station on the south side of the main lobby, and a Metro ticketing station on the north side of the main lobby. The food court with many restaurants and seating is located upstairs and is shown by a green hallway and 2 green bracketed areas. These range from fast food to a little more of a sit-down sports bar type of restaurant, and there are also convenience stores located at the north and south concourse areas at the food court level. Passengers waiting for their trains have 3 lounges. There are 2 coach class lounges shown in gray over towards the river side on this map. One off the north concourse and one off the south concourse. They're basically below the food court. And then, of course, the Metropolitan Lounge and the Great Hall, which is for first class or sleeper passengers. In addition, many people tend to hang out in the food court waiting for their trains, and a lot of people just tend to sit or stand in the concourses along the walls. That's mostly for Metra passengers, not for Amtrak passengers, because the Metro passengers generally don't have to wait very long. I'm going to proceed now to do a bit of a walk around of Union Station, showing various aspects of it that should correlate with the map I've just described.
There's this hallway that cuts through from the north to the south side. And in the middle of it is a small lobby. One of the waiting rooms for coach passengers is on the left. And keeping in mind that this level of Union Station is about 2 stories below street level, there are stairs and escalators up to the next level, and then from there 1 more level up to street level. The entrance to the Metropolitan Lounge is just off to the left, and the ticket counters for Amtrak are off on the right. If I went a little further down to the right are the ticket counters for Metra. And down that way is the hallway to the main Union Station. Or at least the Union Station of all the old movies. There's really no need for the average passenger to come here except to explore.
Can I get your attention, please? Train number 3, the Southwest Chief. Please form your line here in position D. Please form your line here in A. Train number 3, the Southwest Chief, position 3, departure from Union Station. As soon as we have all our passengers in line, we'll escort you from here down to the South Concourse, reporting on track 14. Track 14. Number 3, Northwest Chief, please form your line here in position A. Position A for train number 3.
There are, of course, some famous stairways that have been used in movies, such as these. But by and large, this is an access for people coming in off the street or taxis. And it used to be the main waiting area, but now there's other areas that are in the actual more modern part of the station. Now this is a little interesting. It says Metropolitan Lounge here, but it's not where I remember it being. So they might have moved it, but I'm still going back where I expect it to be, just to see. This is where the old Metropolitan Lounge used to be, and they've moved it to the Great Hall. So we have to go back there. And that's the hallway going to the south side. So back towards the Great Hall here. I'm hoping that this new one has more room than the old one. The old one was large, but it could have been larger. The baggage temporary storage area where you can stow your bags while you're waiting in the first class or Metropolitan Lounge. At this time there doesn't seem to be anybody manning it except for the person at the front desk, so it's reasonably secure. It's within the Metropolitan Lounge. So it's a little different from what I've experienced in the past here at Union Station, Chicago. So there's extra space upstairs at street level. The dark building there is the Sears Tower, otherwise known as the Willis Tower. There's another set of restrooms up here. Here's the top of that staircase we looked up before, looking down into the main Union Station. Wonder if this is the one they had in the Untouchables.
So that's the closest one to my place.
Here we are back at the Great Hall through a glass window. So this is the ticketing area for Metra. And while I think there's too many hallways here, we're back now to the southerly concourse, which is where I came in.
Complimentary snacks and beverages while you wait for your train to depart to the North Chicago Union Station. Priority boarding is being offered for the cost of $20, which includes being escorted ahead of all other passengers taking your train. You will be able to tour the restored 1935 original barbershop and check out all the advantages of the past. If you are interested in this great accommodation, see an Amtrak customer service representative for details. We look forward to serving you in the fabulous legacy program.
And here's more of the coach lounge over here.
Track number 15.
And the Chicago River is just beyond, just outside the doors there. But there are a couple of tracks that go past the station from the north side to the south side, just squeezed in between the station and the river. And they're actually given track names 21 and 23 here. I've never seen those used, but this area here that used to be, I think, the part of the Metropolitan Lounge, continuing south to the other side of the station. And here's the south concourse. I was at the north concourse. I may have said south before, but I meant north.
Gather your attention, please. Amtrak announces the boarding of train 337 with 3:15 p.m. Hiawatha. Making station stops in Glenview, Sturgis, Mitchell Airport, and Milwaukee.
So this is where all the trains. This is where all the trains going south out of the station are located. Now, one level up from this main station level is the food court level, and that itself is, I think, technically one level below street level. And there's even an escalator that goes up to it. And there's the escalators up to street level for Jackson Street. Smells like somebody burned the popcorn here. So we're once again at the north end of the station. And these are the escalators down to the north concourse. There are a couple of convenience stores in the station at the food court level. And this is where I usually come up if I just take the Metra in to go to the city, but they've got this all closed off here. They're working on the Adams Street bridge, and that's apparently why they've got it closed off. It's all torn up there. But there's the Chicago River and Jackson Street, or Jackson Boulevard down there. So the station is in between Adams on the north and Jackson on the south. And if we pan up here, we can see the top of Sears/Willis Tower. And if I zoom in, I bet we can see the ledge. Probably a little bit out of focus, but those are the glass booths that you can stand in and look down through the glass at the great drop below you. I've been up there, it's a lot of fun. So there is the classic Union Station that everybody thinks about from the movies. It's one block west of where all the trains are, and the passageway that we walked under to get there is under a street, Canal Street, I believe. And that is actually, when we saw the great staircase there, it said Canal Street entrance, and that was the stairs going up to there. But I think back to the food court. This is the convenience store I usually go to if I'm just coming down for a commute. But when I'm going to take an Amtrak train, I usually go to a better stocked store on the south side of the station. And I dare say if we go down this way, we'll find that this eventually leads back to the Great Hall. But I'm not going that way. I'm going to the store. So this is the bigger store I was mentioning. And it's several times larger and has a lot more snacks. Time to kill. I just thought I'd go out the Jackson Avenue entrance. Oops. Pushing on the wrong side of the door. Buddy guys, buddy guys, buddy guys. So I thought I'd go around the block and get a better view of the Sears/Willis Tower. Here to Panera Bread and get a little better meal than I'd probably get at the food courts at the train station. All that is in fact what I usually do. This is one of my favorite buildings in Chicago. I always thought it was very pretty. I don't actually know the name of it though. It's kind of hard to believe there's a massive train station right there, but Union Station is in fact underground. And I don't know if that's because of the city being raised at one point or not, but that's the way it ends up. All the tracks pass underneath all these short skyscrapers and not so short ones. So here's what Union Station would have looked like in the old days, except for, of course, probably a lot less traffic. The hallway that connects the Great Hall to the main part of the station passes under Canal Street here. And then over there is an entrance that goes directly into the main part of the station. And there's the Metropolitan Lounge, viewed from the outside. And here's that same staircase that I viewed earlier. Where's Elliot Ness when you need him? If only I had a baby carriage to roll down these stairs. Bit of a short line to wait in to get back into the lounge. I'm chilling out in the Metropolitan Lounge. Wasted enough time hanging around outside, killing time rather. And it's now only about an hour till they're gonna call my train for boarding. So it's really remarkable. There's almost nobody in the lounge at this time. Apparently the old lounge only had a capacity of slightly less than 100 people, and the new lounge, I believe they said it could hold 400, 50 people or something like that, so several times the seating capacity of the old one. So I think it's a big improvement. Very nice furniture. They just opened this in June, so the furniture isn't old yet or anything. Looks like they got all new furniture too. So, nice relaxing situation.